Hey, what is going on, everybody? Spear here with a Team Fortress 2 gameplay commentary. Today we are going to be playing on Control Point Steel. Now this map is pretty confusing for a lot of new players, so I thought I'd just run through me playing it, my thoughts, and why I chose to do what I did in the moment. Now, I perform well, I think, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. So we'll start off, I skipped my first life because I played awfully as a demo man, so I decided we need a power class. I decided to go heavy, and right out the gate, we have an Uber Flog Pyro coming up. So I get the Flog Pyro, I get this medic, I start cleaning up, but then this medic Ubers, it kind of panics, so I try to draw the medic away from spawn. But that doesn't work, so I have to go back and help my team out. I try to bait the Pyro away from spawn. I get that medic, but I gotta run back and heal up. So I grab that. And now I'm trying to think, what do I do? I gotta make some space as heavy. You know, I'm a power class, I got a lot of HP. I need to get in there and try to make some space for my team to breathe a bit. So my spy baits up that medic up there, which was good.
I love you baiting the medic up.
I do compliment him in chat. I just try to encourage some people to base off good plays. So now I'm trying to think about, what do I gotta do next as heavy? I gotta make sure I keep this space. I gotta check this top point. As if you can look, every time I kind of round a corner, I'm revving up as I'm rounding the corner, just so that way I have that minigun ready to go once I go around the corner. I see that my med has crits, so I have him pop crits here, and I get a pretty good kills. I start freaking out a bit. I whip around and get that pyro. Get this other pyro, and that demo, he just explodes in front of me. So that was a good clear, but we made space, but I don't want to overextend. So I'm pulling back to A point to make sure I can hold that space. No one's coming up from that top part that I was checking. And my team is kind of dealing with E, but we're doing okay. Just because my team isn't there, they went to fall back to E. I did pull back farther from A point. I didn't want to be alone in the point. It's good to move as a team. As you can see here, I actually do get caught out by myself. So that's kind of why I wanted to pull back with my team. I just forgot to listen to my own advice. That was it's a crit. So it looks like we're starting to lose A. And I'm not too sure. I'm trying to look at the kill feed to know what I should be expecting when I spawn. Once again, we get pyros right at our spawn when I get out there. It looks like a lost cause, and I'm cut off from my team. 15-second respawn time on Steel. It can be a little rough, especially if you're unfamiliar with how the map is laid out. So I will put up a map on the screen just showing like how the points connect. So I respawn as heavy, I'm coming out, I see immediately my medic is on fire, getting pushed by a pyro, so I'm assuming that the enemy team is pretty close to spawn. I go to heal up that medic and then start to make some space. You know, I got a lot of HP, I need to be up in the front lines. I clear the point, I check my angles, and then I'm thinking, I need to hold this. I have a medic, it's a heavy, we can do a lot together. I kind of treat heavy almost as if, you know, if you've played Overwatch, if you played Marvel Rivals, I view the heavy as kind of the tank. He can make a lot of space, he can hold, he almost is the front line.
I got long ones.
And so I see another pyro come up from behind with fog crits, so now I'm concerned that they're coming the other way. I do a quick check, and unfortunately me checking that, they push up, but thankfully my medic had crits. I go around and I start mowing people down. But I see my medic is starting to get low HP. So I go ahead, I throw him that sandwich, and then that demo charges me. He screams for his life and for mercy, and is unfortunately mowed down by a minigun. I start to make some extra space here. I see that pyro's coming around, and then a free-to-play spy comes out of nowhere.
The butter knife,
just butter knifes my medic to death, and I'm caught left out without a medic. It's unfortunate, but that's how it goes sometimes. So right now it looks like my team is pretty split up. You know, we've got people defending E, we've got people defending B. E is important, but it's better to kind of stay on the main points. You see my two medics are caught out alone with my team focusing on E.
Don't just run away!
There I call out for my medic because I'm scared for my life. I try to get some space, I got medics behind me. I get 2 kills, so I'm feeling a little confident about what I'm doing. But I get a little greedy when I start getting random crits, and it does cost me my life. It's that little baby sentry gun over there. Here I'm thinking, for some reason that I want to look different. Maybe do a different loadout, so I throw on that circling hearts and my Tomislav to maybe be a little more identifiable by my medics. I felt in the moment that they were getting caught out a little too much. So I like to throw on that hat just to seem a little more identifiable in the battlefield. My medic comes in, he's on fire, my pyro does not give a fuck, resulting in my medic's death. Unfortunate, we get caught out without a medic, and we die. So it is really important to protect your medic, especially on this map. There's a lot of flank routes. They can get behind your medic. It's just not great. So after some time, I realized, maybe heavy's not working out. I think we need a little more of a longer distance power class. So I switch over to soldier to try to get some higher DPS and some more mobility to help my medics out. So here we see that pyro's up there. I hear a sniper up on this ledge shooting, so I decided to go get his ass. I gotta jump and clear, so I'm trying to hold this choke as my team is focused elsewhere. This demo does challenge me. I think I can juke him out.
Oh, he's better than me.
And yeah, he ends up being better than me. Which, that's the game sometimes. Sometimes someone is just better than you. I'm looking at my hat, making myself feel better. Get to look at all that purple, that drip, hype myself up after a rough life, get the comeback. And then in chat in that top left, you can see people are like very confused about how this map is laid out. And I actually was a hater of Steel for quite a long time. I thought it was ass. But once I figured out how the map works, how it connects the different flanks that you can take, what is and is not open, it actually became a really fun map. It's one of my favorites. So that's why I decided to, just kind of review my gameplay, see if I could help anyone out there who's a bit confused. So because they're going for C, I don't really see my team around, so I'm kind of checking the flank routes from A to E and from B to C. So over here I know there's a demo man, he's been harassing that sentry, but looks like the pyro's going to take care of it. So I don't want to dedicate too many resources to that when I know that we're getting pushed up. So I come up here, I see there's a lot of people. I turn the corner, just kind of wasn't expecting the whole enemy team there. And then I spend the next however long just typing out how the map is connected. And that actually ends up costing my team the C point. But I just, for some reason in that moment, really wanted to type out how Steel connects each point. Alright, so it took me the whole C cap. We lost C because I decided to type it out. I walk out just into this heavy medic pyro. I start cleaning up, going crazy. I gotta run back and heal. Spawns are right there, might as well pop in. And I just, I'm crazy with it, I'm the GOAT. I see that they're capping D. I have a medic on me, so I'm just gonna go try to support this, stop it from getting capped. I got that heavy helping me out. So now that we cleared D, I'm thinking, where is the enemy gonna come from? They were heavy on C, so I'm jumping up here to check on C. I'm gonna jump at this medic to actually throw them off, because they weren't expecting me to be there so quickly. Heal back up so I can get back in the action ASAP. For some reason I think C is still open, so I walk around and see that they actually capped it a while ago, so I have to turn around and go back to where I was supposed to be going. I come out this side door just to give different angles, so especially on Steel, it's important to try to have different avenues and paths that your team is taking, because if you all funnel into one point, you'll just be playing Dust Bowl on blue and getting spawn camped the whole time. So this is an example. They're coming out of that C entrance. I have a medic, and I want to kind of apply pressure from a distance at a different angle that my sentry is watching. I do make a misstep here. I actually decide to push up and apply a little more pressure. I think it would have been best if I actually stayed back and watched that entrance from the original angle, Because as you'll see, my medic gets caught out. I'm kind of stuck in this corner here. I think I'm going to be okay, so I keep up the pressure. You know, I want to get this crossfire with the sentry, but then when that demo comes around, I just kind of get trapped between the 2 points. So, you know, it's important to remember the routes where people are coming from. You know, if I was able to stay up, I could have kept that spam from hitting my sentry here, as I was holding that angle previously. It actually causes that to go out. Enders just gives up on life and commits suicide. You know, it's sad to see. Long live Ender. Here I'm thinking, you know, D is important, but we gotta stop E from getting capped. And I can't really stop it if this Pyro is up here behind us. So I gotta go, I think I gotta deal with him first. So I get him killed. I'm gonna try to wait till I'm not on fire to deal with this. I think that's a spy, but it wasn't. I get this crazy crit, super lucky. I think this is the comeback. There's no way this Pyro's has this much HP, and he just would not die. So unfortunately, I think here is where we lose. They get D, and then they're gonna cap E in the end. So yeah, I mean, that was the red defense on Steel as Heavy and Soldier. You can see there's a lot going on, especially on Steel, for where you should be positioning, how you should be treating your medics. But thanks for watching. This is my first ever gameplay commentary, so if you have any advice, you know, shoot me a comment, give me a suggestion, and I hope to see you in the next one.